Okay. All right, guys. So we just started off this whole thing with a blast. Normally we wait a little bit before we bring our guest in. We've had a couple of changes. Number one, please, if it is your way, pray or throw light at Katie. Katie is very sick again. Poor girl. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Meg. And prayers and light to her if it is your way. She's extremely 102 temperature. Kids are sick. She's sick. It is a nightmare. So conspicuous by her absence. I figured out how to explain it. So to my right is my wonderful lady Lori.
Hello, everyone.
Greg, the crystal guru, as I have deemed him. You guys have had a lot of, hey, Francine, you guys have had a lot of questions about crystals. And, when Katie approached me about it, hi, Diana. This is kind of like Romper Room. Greg, did you ever see Romper Room?
The magic mirror.
No mirror glass in it.
Absolutely.
It was kind of one of those, hello, I see Skyra. I see, yeah. So we've got, hey, Ashley, Skyra, Shirley.
Shirley, it'll be a good show.
Oh, it's going to be a great show, I think. Because I think you're going to be able to answer questions for folks that have had them and just have not had the person to talk to me. Katie's really good. She's very up on the crystal and stonework. I am not. So you're going to educate me tonight as well. Our team just started being a little bit into it. But let me, before I begin, guys, understand we're also, again, simulcasting to the Things Network and to Paralinks Network as well. As this page, so if you get a chance to visit them and watch past shows there as well as on my page here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Mort says, Richard, beautiful Lori, Mr. Guru. Hello.
Hello.
Melissa, good to see you. Jen, good to see you. Nadine, good to see you. Brenda, wow, everyone's coming out of woodwork, proverbial woodwork.
Holy.
You got a big set of shoes to fill, brother.
The freaking whole gang is here. Woo!
The whole gang is here.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's great to have you on board. So again, guys, I really was looking forward to this because our team, Lori and my team, we have been getting into a little bit of the Super 7 stones. I had a dear friend of mine reach out and send me one, a big one. And then we kind of realized it was a great idea. And we started getting little Super 7 stones on necklaces for everybody on the team around their neck and carrying them personally. And it seems to have helped a little bit. But you give me some information, Greg, all camera, that I would love to be able to have you share when I bring this forward as to the topic of conversation so far. So, guys, I'm going to tell you what I was asking Greg in the green room, okay? My team just finished doing a documentary. It is by far one of the toughest jobs my team has ever had to do. It is one of the most dramatic and traumatic experiences my team has ever had. I personally have ever had. I had to do a full-blown exorcism on that lady to my right in one location alone. And I'm talking no joke. You can ask Deacon Tommy Golden, who is the director and the producer of the movie, and he is actually a demonologist. And he said that was an absolute partial possession. So we've had a lot going on. And I know everybody's kind of run into problems, most likely with energy issues on their investigations, right? So I think, what I had asked Greg in the green room when we were talking is a list of stuff that I think he needs to reiterate to you guys now that we're on air, because I think everyone needs to protect themselves as best you can. Yes, you can carry sage. I always carry sage. We just got done getting a truckload of sage to the house. Palo Santo wood. I will use both medias to be able to cleanse an area. But I really would like to get more into the crystal and stone, what I call crystal and stone work, because I think there's a lot more that lies there for our benefit than we've actually utilized. And in investigations especially, all of us have been in places where things were a little dark. Maybe things were a little shady. You had to be better protected. Something happened to a person in the investigation. They might have gotten attacked. You don't know. But every measure you can of safety is important to have with you. and Greg is the crystal guru. He loves the title I gave him. But I wanted to continue to say hello to Tara, Ashley. We appreciate you showing up. Okay, Nadine, so you didn't hear the beginning of it. Katie is actually very sick. She's running 102 with all kinds of flu-like symptoms, so she is out of it tonight. Thankfully, my wonderful wife Lori has stepped in, and she is going to lend her opinion, information, and questions as well. So, without any further ado, Greg, I want to ask you again, as I did off camera, what would be a good piece of crystal or pieces of crystal to be able to purchase and find, which I actually have had pretty good time finding them on eBay? Do you consider that a pretty decent market to be able to find the stones?
There's some stones that can't be faked. There are other stones that can be faked very easily, especially the more expensive ones. I would not buy from someone that you don't trust. I would recommend going to a local crystal dealer, speaking to them, people that actually sell crystals, know crystals. Like for example, Moldavite. It's gotten so expensive, and of course, with the price going up, people are going to fake it. It's very easy to fake Moldavite. But in your other question about, when you're doing your ghost hunting, when you're doing your investigations and such, I would recommend any of the black stones. For example, I've had this on for, God, I don't know how many years, a piece of black kyanite. Now, this isn't something people fake because it's inexpensive. It's not an expensive thing. It's very good at repelling negative energy. You also want to use something like a black tourmaline to repel that negative energy. And as far as I am actually concerned, that the black tektites, if you can find a black tektite, now those are something that can be faked. Tektite being where a meteorite has hit into the earth, hitting the glass and causing a fusion within that glass. Okay, there are dark tektites. So they have that extra special star power, universal star power in them. And they're the only one that will actually, these will repel it. Tektite will absorb it. So that it doesn't repel it, it actually absorbs it and takes it away from you. This will throw it away from you. Tektite will actually absorb that energy right in you. Now, the first thing I should have mentioned was a selenite, because it's not a black stone. It is a gypsum-based stone, selenite. There's two types. Like satin spar is what they normally call selenite. It's the same type of gypsum, does similar things, but true selenite is clear. But get the gypsum, the satin spar as well. And what that does, it just increases the energy of your aura field. So that life force, it's going to give you an extra shield of protection against anything being able to attach to that.
That's great. And guys, I hope you're writing this down. If you're doing investigations, there's nothing wrong with taking every clear measure to protect yourself and your team. Now, I asked you backstage something I feel is a very important question as well regarding the black stone size. What would be a recommended size that you would put into the stone? Because I know that has a difference maker.
Well, what I was saying about size, well, depends who you ask. Women will tell you size matters. Some will tell you it doesn't, right? But when it comes
I need HR.
I need HR. Do you have an HR department? Am I in trouble here? So what we need to understand is that 1 centimeter of any crystal will project 1 meter of energy. So 1 centimeter is there's 2.5 centimeters. I know you're in the States, so I went to school at the time when we converted from the imperial to the metric. Never made sense to me. So they
tried metric when I was in school. It didn't work out very well.
No. So let's try, let's stay in imperial. So I mean, a crystal that is, we'll say, 1/2 inch in size will put out 1 meter of energy of protection.
Okay.
So, obviously, if you're going on investigations, you don't want to carry around a 12-pound crystal. You want something like this that you can wear around your neck. You want something you can stick in your pocket. Right. And that is going to give you a beautiful, like if you're 6 feet tall, if you got a 2 centimeter crystal, that's throwing out that's throwing out 2 meters, which is 6 feet of energy.
Right.
So, if you carry a 3-inch one, you got, what do you got there? You got like 18 feet of it.
You can cover, Yetis.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah. You can cover a lot of, protect yourself, cover your energy. Yes. And like I said, people don't think of selenite as a protective stone. I think of it as a protective stone in the way that it just enhances your life force energy. It protects that life force aura that we all have around us. And it makes it stronger, and it makes it harder for them demons to latch onto. Because I've had a few latch onto me, and I'm telling you, it's not a very great experience.
Yeah, it's, I've had it. I mean, in my time, I've been doing this over a quarter of a century, and I've had my share of attachments. Everybody in my team has had an attachment in the process, and we're a rather newly organized team. I would say within the last, we've been together 9 months. I think the only people before that was, Aaron and his mother. So 3 out of 9 are kind of have longevity and tenure with the team. The rest are rarely new within 9 months, and they've already dealt with a lot of negative crap,
and people don't realize how physically painful that is.
Oh.
It's not just that it messes with your mind; it causes physical discomfort within our bodies.
Yeah.
It's a physical thing. It latches on. Like when it happened to me, I was like, when you break up with somebody, you got this broken heart. And it goes into your gut, it goes into your heart, it's in your head constantly, and you can't get rid of it. That's what it felt like to me.
Wow.
And the one thing I love about crystals is that we have 3 brains. People don't realize that. We have the brain in our head that we think with. We have a brain in our heart, and we have a brain in our stomach, right? And most of the stuff that hurts you, that goes from your brain into your heart, ends up in your stomach. So Tektite, for anxiety, for feelings like that, when all that ends up in that brain, that will remove it. That will absorb it and get rid of it. It's the only crystal that will. Now, upon saying that, my head has led me astray. My heart's led me astray. My gut has never. That's the one brain I listen to, because the other 2 got me in trouble.
Well, here come the questions, guys. If you got questions, bring them up as long as they're relevant. I have no problem bringing them up in front of Greg. He's here to try to help us. First one comes from Ashley. Is there a crystal that helps heal or repair our body?
Ashley, I don't promote the fact that crystals are going to heal medical ailments. I do believe that's things for doctors to do. But with that being said, think of your body. It's 70% water.
Right.
And if you take 1 drop of water and you freeze it, what do you get? You get a crystal.
Right.
So the most powerful crystal that anybody can possess is yourself. You are the most powerful crystal in the world. Our pineal glands have calcite crystals in them. Now, through the years, putting fluoride in the water, different things in our food, they're recalcifying that so that we're not using that pineal gland anymore. Because once you get those crystals vibrating and you get in a certain frequency, that's where you get that crown chakra. My daughter, one night, I saw literally a purple freaking beam of light coming out of the top of her freaking head.
Wow.
But you are the most powerful crystal. You are the most powerful thing in your healing. Now, if you want to take a crystal that's going to make you feel good, make you feel great, but it's I don't believe it's a crystal doing the healing. It is you, because you are the crystal. That's
I would have the feeling that possibly, I get what you're saying completely. That makes total sense. In a metaphysical way, that makes total sense. I'm thinking that possibly your energy can be rebounded or can be carried over to the crystal and reverted back to you. Am I wrong in that thinking?
Crystals will absorb energy and transmute that energy for you. But I don't believe that is the factor in healing. It may enforce the feeling within yourself that I am capable of healing. I am going to healing. But in the long run, it is the thing that is actually healing you is yourself.
So my question for you is, there are not any healing properties in the crystal quartz. And the reason I asked that is when my late husband was battling cancer, some students, I'm an educator, and some students actually came and brought us the white quartz and said that they believed that it actually did have healing properties.
Again, the thing is with clear quartz is like the master healer, they call it. It is, if they talk about, you need this one for your crown, one for your third eye, one for your throat, this and that. Quartz does it all. Now, I do believe that having a quartz crystal like that, saying it's a master healer, that him putting his intention into it, the vibration, he rises to the vibration of that crystal, which goes back into his body. Because again, it's all mind over matter. I believe that, the Chinese started using crystals 5,000 years ago for healing. I believe that we can take the energy as a healer and put it through people's bodies and balance those chakras. We can balance things to make them feel better so that they're in a state of mind to heal themselves. But I don't believe it's not the crystal that's healing them. It is themselves, but the crystal is giving them the power, the initiative, the energy to do that.
So do you believe in the power of the chakra cleansing that some people do?
Oh my God, yes. I just recently had a friend of mine who does these. You should have her on the show, actually. She does, it's not a sound bath where you think of the crystal bowl singing to you.
The singing bowls, yeah.
She was here and she has a different colored one. She will not play them unless she's doing it for somebody to balance their chakras. And I had the experience when she came to visit me. And all I can tell you is that I expected like a sound bath, listening to this constant tone and different, down to the root chakra, back up to the crown. That's not what she did. She did a little bit of a tone and then she just sit and wait. And I went through, when she did this thing, it was about 40 minutes long. I went through every emotion. I went through past lives. I went through anger. I went through happiness. I went through sexual arousal. I went through, I don't know. It was just the wilds, and my palms. I felt this spiral going around my palms while she did it. When I came out of that, which seemed like minutes, it was like 40 minutes long. I had a crystal show to do that night to do sales. And I was like, you know what? I don't give a shit. I don't care. I felt like a brand new newborn baby that just blasted out of the womb without a worry in my life. And that's what that chakra balancing did to me. I think it's very important for people to balance those chakras. You can do it with crystals. I think they're very good at that. You can, get the different crystals with the different, and the crystals, when they talk about your chakras, it's the color of them, the vibration of that color, not so much the crystal that is doing the work for you. Yeah,
and it's really good to hear that, and again, because I know of a lot of people that are dealing with anxiety and stress, and and maybe they need their chakras realigned or cleansed, and that would help. I'm a real big one I'm a big proponent on the other side, away from the crystal for a minute. I'm a big proponent of Himalayan salt baths.
Yes.
I'm a big proponent. If I have someone that comes to me and says, Rich, I got an issue. Yes. I think I have an attachment, or we go to visit a private client like we've done, and they had issues. I will tell them 20-minute, half cup of sea salt, Himalayan pink sea salt, half a cup of sea salt in the bath, 20-minute soak, no lights, candles, no phone, no interruptions. Unplug the bath when you're done. Don't get out of the water until all the water is completely down. And then also envision a negative crap in your life going down the drain with it.
Mm-hmm. And I also want to say that is all due to the ionization. That's just negative ions that you want. Yeah. You think positive ions are what you want in your life, but it's the negative ones that discharge stuff. It's just it's a beautiful, wonderful thing. And you got to be careful if you do that with crystals, which ones you throw in your tub with you. Because some of them are very toxic. Is there a crystal that of mediums prefer to use when divining? Yes, sodalite. Sodalite. Sodalite's going to connect you. And also, again, like I said, if you can't afford a bunch of crystals, get yourself a beautiful clear quartz. Does it all. Does it all. It does
Now,
it all.
you know,
But definitely
I'm gonna
sodalite.
ask you for some homework. You know that, right?
What's that?
You know I'm going to ask you to do some homework. You know that, right?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, absolutely. I don't mind homework. I hated it in high school, but I love
think I would not only love it, I think our viewers would love it if you could throw together a short list for protection, like the black stones, what black stones possibly,
Sure.
whatever you recommend, in a short list somewhere. You can throw it on a Word document, whatever. But I think I'm gonna if you do that, I'm gonna throw that up on my site, my Facebook page, for everybody who's watching this show now or anybody that could use it.
Absolutely.
Because I'm telling you, I'm real big. Katie and I, and actually my whole team and Katie, were real big on getting the education out there on every facet of the metaphysical, including protection, especially protection.
Especially protection, yes. Wear your condom when you're hunting ghosts.
Yeah. There you go.
I need an adult.
You need an entire body condom.
Yes, made of titanium. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because there are just some things that I think they're super important. I really was not. I'll be honest. I was not a big proponent of crystals until again I got that Super 7 stone. And, that really helped me out during those basic investigations. But nothing, it did not at all seem to stop what happened at the last two locations we filmed it.
Not at all.
And that scares me.
Yes. So get that kyanite, get that tourmaline, get that tektite, get that stuff. And the other thing I wanted to say is that when it comes to crystals, okay, there's 3 ways to work with them, okay? And what we're just talking about now, number 1 is to wear it, okay? Wear it or carry it with you, especially if you're doing ghost stuff. Carry a lot of black stones with you. I mean, fill your pockets, stick it. My daughter puts them in her bra. Like, she walks around with them in her bra, like put them wherever you can fit them, Number 2, if you're into crystals, it's great. You can put crystals in your home. They're beautiful and they are going to enhance the energy of any area. Okay. If you want to get really, really deep with them, you need to pick some and work with them daily because it's like any relationship. And it's amazing that once you get a bond with those and you start working with them, the information you can gather from them, it's that they hold information. And once you work with them in that sort of sense, which I've done, I'd sit here and spend hours and hours with different pieces, and I got to know them. They were like family to me. The information started to flow. Now, once you get to that point with them, the next best way, the best way once you're connected to them is while you're sleeping so they can work on the subconscious once you connect with them. That's where you want to work with them. Once you get to that point, put them next to your bed. Let them get into the subconscious mind. Let them start working with that spiritual energy, because we go somewhere when we're sleeping. We're not just in our head. And consciousness is outside of ourselves. We think it's in our brain, but it's outside of us.
All right.
I do believe consciousness is something like once we die, just because our body's gone, the consciousness is still there. So that means it's outside of our bodies.
I mean, that's what we're dealing with as paranormal investigators. I fully believe that's what we're dealing with, is just the consciousness of the people that we're running into.
So when you say you work with them, do you mean you're just like looking at them? What do you mean? Can you clarify working with them?
I will sit here and I will have a couple of drinks. Might have a little toke. It's legal in Canada. Put on great music, just get in the greatest mindset. And just sit with them. Now, the ones that I work with, I always put on a selenite plate just to charge them, just to cleanse and charge them, okay? And I just sit with them, and I'm very quiet, and information just starts coming through. I had this one crystal called Gemini because it wouldn't shut up. It just kept talking and talking. I took it to bed with me one night I was working with them, and I tried to sleep, and it would wake me up going, you got to write this down. You got to write that down. You got to write this down. And the whole premise of my crystal sales getting into it was this experience of what they were bringing to me. And I wanted to share it with people. But then I realized that, well, it takes me like a month to work with each one of these to get close enough to get information. So I'm not going to be able to support myself doing what I like to do because I can't take a month for 3 crystals and sell them, right? But I want people to know this is possible with them. Like, for example, I just want to ask everybody in the show right now a question, okay? I want you to look at this piece right here.
Love that.
Okay? Look at this piece. How many people, but I'm saying it's not the most beautiful thing. It is beautiful. But I'm just saying a lot of people look at that and they would discard it, right? And
what is it? That's not smoky quartz, is it?
no, this is an celestial.
Wow. Okay.
This is what's called an celestial. Okay. So I just wanted people in the show be honest. Like, I mean, if you saw that, would you pay $100 for that? Okay.
Based on what I feel is about that, yeah. At
the end of the show, I want answers. Just let me know what you think about it. And then at the end of the show, I'm going to show you what this crystal actually possesses within it.
Wow,
so don't always judge a book by its cover is what I'm saying. Go to what you're drawn to.
All right, so we're going to get to a couple of statements and then one statement and a couple of questions we've already been handed out. So Chanel Penrod said, black tourmaline quartz, howlite are my powerhouse crystals. Now, Ashley said, is there crystals that I could put around my house to keep out any negative energy?
Ashley, what I do with that is I've taken black tourmaline. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can even buy black tourmaline tumbled stones and just put them in each corner of your house. Now, before you do that, cleanse them, take them, hold them, put your intent that you want protection within your house and put it in every corner of your house. It will bring you this beautiful protection throughout your home. Absolutely.
I see a checklist for us, hon. I don't know.
I'm mentally making it.
He's got to send that list because
well, you can always watch the replay. Well, no, I don't mind sending you a list. Absolutely.
Well, and I'll tell you, I'm serious. I will share it with all the viewers on my Facebook page. That'll help them.
I love you guys, man. I love you.
I'm back here making the mental list of, okay, once we sage and Palo Santo the house, salt seal the house, put the salt binding around the outside of the house, then we come back in, put the intent into the crystals and put it in the corners of the house. And maybe the folks in the graveyard will leave us alone at night.
Maybe
we literally have a graveyard.
But I mean, hey, when you got that psychic gift, man, like, I mean, my daughter, since she's been here, she, after her mother died, I've read tarot cards for years. Her mother read tarot cards. And after her mom passed, she wanted to get into tarot cards. And so I helped her learn. She studied and I taught her what I could teach her. She's far surpassed me on it. And I'm telling you, my toilet's a portal. She'll go in there to sit down to go to the bathroom. She'll come back out with a message. Figure that one out.
People are like that because I've talked about it several times on previous shows. Lori and 2 other females in our team stepped back in what I call a setback in time and went back to the basics, and they all have got their own set of dowsing rods.
Yes.
Now, these women can make them damn things sing. I am not good at them at all.
Exactly.
So it really just, it does. I fully believe it picks the person, not you.
It does. It does. Same with, you know what? And it's the same with crystals.
Yeah.
You know, people, like I say, you can say this, you know, when you go online to say, oh, what does this crystal do? What does that crystal do? That's all bullshit. Okay. It's what does it do for you? What does it do for you? Why are you attracted to it? Why is it calling to you? Why do you need this? And that's when you need to sit quietly with that crystal and let it talk to you. Let it bring you things. Like people, if people don't believe crystals store energy, for one, our computer screens, our watches, they have quartz crystal in it. Why? Because the vibration is consistent. Now, they just came out with a disc this big, this big around, that holds 380 terabytes of information. They say that a quartz crystal will hold information for over 300,000 years. That's wicked.
That's a long time.
That's a long. Well, I mean, I'm not going to see that in my next birthday.
So, Richard, does that not line up with the stone tape theory as well?
Mm-hmm. A lot of things line up with the stone tape theory.
Francine, I see she had a question there.
Yep. Please explain the full moon effect on the crystals.
All right. Also, I want to tell you, Francine, is that you can charge your crystals in a full moon. Okay. If you're going to charge it within a full moon, um, just know that you are using the full moon at that time at the full point, that you are filling those crystals with a beautiful goddess feminine energy. So depending on the type of energy or cleansing you want for your crystals, you can cleanse them in the sun. If you cleanse them in the sun, it's going to give you a much harsher masculine energy, which is more of, feminine energy to me is a much gentler energy.
Depends on the female.
Well, it depends on, you're right about that. And then the sun is very masculine. So if you want to work with a crystal that you want it to kick your ass, charge it in the sunshine. If you want something that's going to be much gentler on you, charge it in the moon. Now, you can charge them on new moons as well. There's different parts of the moon you can use to charge that. I don't use full moon. I don't use the sun. I use selenite. I find it a very neutral energy. So the crystal is going to give off its natural energy as opposed to the energy that I'm imposing upon it.
Right.
Okay.
So, now, Nadine says, my hematite rings, when I wear them, break frequently, most often into 3 pieces. Do you believe that might be spiritual or due to something like metal expanding and contracting?
I do believe it's something spiritual. And when crystals break, it doesn't mean that they're done their purpose. It means that you may perhaps give those pieces to somebody else, for one. But usually when a crystal breaks or shatters or comes into 2 pieces, it's done its job. It's done its job. It's finished. It's done. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Meg said I wore a turquoise stone pendant. I was drawn to it since I was 12. Got it on my 14th birthday. I'm 42 now. It has rarely ever left my neck. I have no clue what it does, if anything. Can you tell me?
Well, obviously, it feels very good for you to wear that if you've been wearing it that long. It obviously is jiving with your energy. It's jiving with your purpose. It brings you joy. It brings you happiness. It's something you should continue to do. The other thing I would say is, let me see, when I was 12, got on my, okay. Now it really has left my, yeah, it's just, I'm just saying that you have a natural connection. I don't know if you have any, out in Arizona, in that there is a lot of native beliefs around turquoise, that they honor it, they love it. It is very sacred to them. So there may be something in your bloodline that has that connection, or something in your soul, or something from a past life that has that connection to that. So I would say if it never leaves your neck and it's making you feel good, keep on going. Keep on going.
It's interesting that you brought up Arizona and the Native American, because when I was reading that was the immediate read I was getting from that, is that she has some type of connection to something
yes,
Native American.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a very important crystal to them. That's very sacred to a lot of different beliefs and groups with that.
My brother, when he was alive, he lived in Mesa, and he would constantly send me over chunks of turquoise.
Yeah.
And and he would buy it from the native reservations. He would buy it from reservations to be able to send it out. And he thought that they possibly had done some kind of a blessing on the stone.
Well, I believe that in this day and age, this crystal thing started back in the 80s, when people started getting into crystals and stuff. And we're at a point with science and that people are looking for more in the way that, the native people believe that trees have a soul, rocks have a soul, everything has a soul, and we're all connected as one to that. Through our day and age, with the information we get, we've lost that connection. And back in the 80s, I think people started going back to crystals and that. Because, let's look at it this way. We consume a lot. We got everything that we need. We got instant TV. We can watch whatever show we got. We got our, food just down the store. You don't have to hunt it. And through all this, it's taken us away from our spiritual being, as being one with nature, And I do believe that this crystal revolution that started back in the 80s is people, where else do you go when you have everything? You got to go back to spirituality. You know, that's all we got. And that's what's going to save us is the spirituality. That's what's going to stop us from all the evil that's going on, all this stuff and turmoil that's going on in the world, all this stuff that gets fed into our home every day on the television set. You know,
Right.
this crystals appeared, I believe, as our savior, as the light beings. They were buried deep in the earth since the beginning of time, and they have all the information since the beginning of time. And they're starting to come to people now to awaken us, to give us information, to give us this spiritual strength, to enhance our spiritual strength, to make us stronger people, because we're looking for answers. People are looking more for answers now. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And like I said, this started back in the 80s, and it's something that's just progressing. It's just progressing. And I think that is what we need in this world, you know?
Now, Nikki just said this is so similar to Nordic and Irish culture. The further we go from nature, the further we are from being whole.
Absolutely. And Nikki, you know what? Like I said, we are all one. We all come from stardust, you know? We all come from stardust. Now, you know, what's crazy, a lot of people think we come from, you know, different planets than that. We were seated here. I'm not far from that idea. I do believe that. I channeled a crystal one time. I was here with my daughter during the full moon eclipse just a month ago. And I just looked at her. I never heard the term Alpha Centauri before. And I was channeling a crystal, and I felt like I was launching through space. Like I was shaking, like I was in a rocket ship going somewhere. And those words came out. And I go, I don't even know Alpha. What is that? Is that even a thing? You know, like where would that come from?
You know, it's funny
You know?
you say that. That word I have actually heard when I was a child. There were several television shows out there back then. They would, you know, do the whole space exploration show and all that. And that's the first time I ever heard Alpha Centaurian.
Right.
Was on a TV show
Yeah.
back in the 60s.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like when I come out. I know that ages me, Lori. I know that ages me. Calm down.
Hey.
Calm down.
Hey, you know what? With hopefully with age comes wisdom, right?
Sometimes I'm a
Sometimes,
man.
yes. You can't. My mom always says you can't put an old head on young shoulders, but
True.
yeah. But I did want to talk. Okay, we are okay. So
Yeah. So Nikki said it was. So we are all so interconnected. Do you feel a certain indoctrination is designed to keep us divided and easier to manipulate or control us?
absolutely, it's called television.
Yeah.
Media.
Yeah. It's called media.
It is.
Government.
And exactly is exactly designed to do that. It's designed to keep us from our natural path. Like I said, with the pineal gland, with the calcite in there, which are crystals that vibrate and you can connect to higher realms. That's why they put fluorite in the drinking water. They don't want us connecting to that, and they want to keep us divided, you know?
Well, all right. So Herbie gave me my answer. Don't worry, Richard. I'm lost in space. So evidently, Herbie is around the same age I am.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger, Will
Danger.
Yeah, that is where I heard the term Alpha Centaurian.
Yeah.
And you know, as a kid, you just think it's another one of those TV labeling things they put on things that absolutely are innate or they're not even real. You know, but no, evidently there is something to it.
Well, you know, how much stuff is put in media as a precursor to what's coming or a precursor to what was true? You know, it's they play games with you.
They do. And actually, if you go back to literature, if you look back into the 1950s when Fahrenheit
9/11
451 was written,
or 451, that's right. Yeah.
Yes. And if you look at the things that they talk about in that novel and look at what's happening to the generation today, in the novel, it talks about the big screens on the walls of the homes becoming like people's family. And they watched the live chase of the firemen and they were censoring books and all the things that were happening then. Those things have come now. So that has to make you question, is this something that they were connecting with?
It's an agenda.
Because how coincidental is that?
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
I
not, and
don't think
that's why we need to get back. We need to connect. Like, take these beautiful beings from the earth and let them connect and bring us the proper information. You
right.
know, let them bring us back to who we are, when we were, what we should be, not what we're told to be.
Well,
You know,
I think we people, being people in general, are getting so misguided by what we're being fed. And I
well,
know
because
that's radical, but it's the
they did.
reality of it.
It's just like going on Facebook and saying pineapple doesn't belong on pizza.
It doesn't.
You're going to get a conversation. You're going to get people arguing about it, right? And what does
Yeah.
it matter? If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But they
Well,
do
it's
that
funny.
with everything else. But excuse,
Yeah.
I'm just going to interrupt you really quick, Richard.
No, go ahead.
Please excuse me. I really, really need to go to the bathroom again. And when I
Okay.
get back, I'm actually going to start talking crystals. Okay.
There you go. Sounds good.
Okay. So please forgive me. I'll be
I'll
right back.
continue on without you till you get back.
Okay. I'll be right back. Enjoy that chili.
Enjoy the chili. Well, you're the one stepping away, not me. But yeah, I mean, this stuff with the crystals is pretty cool.
It really is. I'm interested in the black crystals for the protection, especially
Yeah,
having
you gotta look
been
into
the
that.
one that was partially possessed and then
Yeah.
participating in the salt bath that felt like it was pulling me down the drain with it. I'm
Yeah.
really interested to explore that a little bit more and see if it can provide some additional protection.
Yeah, and like I said, I was never a really big advocate of the whole crystal side of the paranormal until, like I said, it was a couple of years ago or so that I got my first Super 7 stone, and that was sent to me as a gift by a friend who was on the show, and you know, and I'm looking at it, and it's kind of, is it going to stop everything? Probably not. Will it do a better job than nothing? Absolutely. I mean, that's the way I see it.
Well, you know, when I wore the Super 7 stone when I was jumped and partially possessed, it didn't stop it, but I don't even want to think about what could have happened if I had not been wearing it that night. It
Yeah.
could have been a lot worse. And
Yeah,
he's
it could have been.
absolutely right about the effects of something like that causing you to become physically ill and causing other problems health wise, because I absolutely felt that after that possession.
So our son Devin jumped into the chat. Sydney always sends me on the hunts with the black tourmaline. That's our son. He's on our team, so it's kind of, that makes total sense that she's trying to protect his butt too. Ashley said what she went through must have been terrifying.
It was. And I didn't even remember it on the ride home. I had no knowledge of anything that happened. I refused to listen to the audio from that night. And the director recently sent us the cut from the documentary. And I was at work when I received it. And I wouldn't even open it until I got home with Richard because I wasn't even sure that I would be able to watch it. And it was very difficult and very unsettling.
Yeah, it was. I know.
Okay.
It was. Welcome back. So Nikki said or asked, what can folks do to begin the process of reconnecting with our Mother Earth or Gaia? I'm asked this and struggle to answer it at times. Now, let me tell you, my answer real quick is real brief.
It's simple.
I used to make myself, I don't do it now, and I don't know why. I need to begin it again. But I would normally, after an investigation, I would normally go to a stream and I would take off my socks and shoes and I would just stand there on the ground. And I would literally just listen to the vibrations of the water.
Feel it.
And just, or if you didn't want to get grounded by, taking socks and shoes off, sit at a picnic table near a stream. Yeah. There's something where you could take in that vibration level, because I'm here to tell you, I was in an investigation years ago, and on this property, there was literally a mountain stream, a small one, but a pretty active mountain stream that went down and went under the actual building I was in. All right. If you were on this side of the stream, it was very neutral, very positive. You went on that side of the stream, it was negative, it was dark. And what I found interesting is I could not see the energy cross over the running water. the negative energy
And-
could not penetrate over the water.
And like, I was saying that's a very simple answer, and Richard answered that. Grounding. Get your bare feet on the earth. Get your bare feet in the earth, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
right.
we really do need to get back to the basics of that because it does help. Because
Oh,
the paranormal hangover is real.
Yes, it is. And for me, water is grounding.
Water is very grounding. Water
And
is
everywhere
the
in the
elixir
South,
of
we're in the
life.
South. We're in Georgia. We go into Tennessee a little bit, but we go into mostly Georgia and Kentucky, and there's streams everywhere. Why we're not doing that, I don't know. I think just because at the end of the night, it's the end of the night. We just need to wrap it up. But I would like to try to get back to that basic of stand on Mother Earth.
Put your
Take that energy through you, ground yourself, and then get back to basics and not feel as bad maybe the next morning when you get up and you go, well, thank God that wasn't so hard. Now,
And like I said,
Carmen said, it's a comment about you. She says, so I had that Super 7 necklace, the Super 7 stone amethyst, and black tourmaline.
Hey,
Beautiful.
bestie.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Let's see here.
We
Wow,
should,
there's a lot
we
coming.
should talk some crystal shit.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, I know. Like, I thought I was here to talk about some crystals.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
I just want to give people information on what to look for in crystals sometimes if you're looking for that extra little help, that little clues you can find within that crystal when you're looking at them or you're drawn to them. Like, find these things. There are things that are imprinted in crystals that you can see physically that will bring about things that you're looking for.
I keep
All right.
on forgetting you're from Canada. I hear a boot.
A boot. New do to boot it.
Well, while
Listen,
you're doing
hey,
that, Herbie says or asks,
I
are
wonder-
there specific crystals that can cause people to increase their memory? And if there are, how is that is it that the medical community doesn't recommend them? Herbie, I will answer the end of that. It does
Thank you.
not
Go
benefit
ahead,
the
Lori.
pharmaceutical company. That's why they're not going to use those.
No. And as far as I believe, I mean, you could probably Google it and they'll say, oh, this crystal will do that. This crystal will do this. That'll crystal will do that. If you're having problems with memory, quartz crystals are very programmable. So you can take and put those memories into it. For example, I have some crystal coasters that people put their glasses on. You know what I did with those? When I was very happy and in a very good mood, I hung onto those and I put that happiness and good mood into them. So when people come over, I'll throw that down as a coaster. They'll throw their water on it or whatever drink they have. That energy goes into it and they're happy. It's very amazing when it comes to that. But the medical community will never, just like the medical community won't, you can go to your doctor. I don't know. He may or may not recommend acupuncture. I don't know. But they're never going to recommend going for a chakra alignment with some singing bowls. They're never going to recommend using crystals, Now, I mean, if you have a serious medical condition, I don't believe that grab a crystal is going to fix you. Like, I mean, we do need those medical people. But then again, it's all we can cure. Like, it's been known through our own minds, we can cure ourselves. And like I said, we're 98% water. Take a single drop of water, it turns into a crystal. So basically, we're 7% crystals to start with, not counting the ones in our pineal. What the heck? I never know how to say that word.
And
Different ways of pronouncing it.
To kind of put a finite point on your question, you're a husband, which means you can't remember jack squat.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Being a husband,
there you go.
You cannot remember jack squat.
Yes.
Because I think if you're like me, you have the same condition where once in a while I'll hear, I just told you that the other day. Do you not remember? So, yeah, just take it for what it is, and it'll be all right, buddy.
Yeah.
And actually, when I talk about staying in the riverside, I actually want damn snow. It's a little cold for that here.
You know what? It's not going to kill you to stand outside in the snow in your bare feet. I do it all the time. I've done it.
So Nikki asked the question. She said, I center myself regularly, but struggle to tune out the toxic energy at times unless I literally go for weekend hikes. Richard knows I find my strength in nature, but pushing that toxic energy out seems harder these days. Have you felt that? or should I learn better grounding techniques? It's a good question.
Well, first and foremost, what I'd say is, what do you subject yourself on a daily basis? Like, what do you subject yourself to that you are feeling this from? Is it like from media? Is it from social media? Is it from things that are bringing this extra tension into your life? That is something that I would, cut down on. Because I mean, that does that to so many people in this day and age. I've never seen anxiety at such a point as it is now in people. And I believe it's because the information comes so quick to people, they just get overwhelmed with it. You need to cut yourself off that. If you're going to go out and ground, stay off social media, stay off the internet. If you're going to watch anything on TV, watch stuff that is spiritually enhancing. Don't watch anything that's going to take away from your spirit, that's going to destroy your spirit or make you start thinking, different ways. Don't let them divide you that way.
Right. Absolutely. All right. Another question, because we've got a few of them here. Nadine says, when I first began buying crystals, I carried them in my pockets everywhere. I honestly felt as if many changes began to take place quickly at this time. Do you think that having several different crystals on your person can cause corrections to begin happening quickly?
Absolutely. And the other thing is that a lot of people think that, I got all these different crystals, their vibrations are different. They're going to interfere. They're going to interact in a negative way, or they're going to, one's going to cancel the other out. They all vibrate at their own frequency. That's not going to happen. So yeah, keep carrying them. And like I said, you carry them with you. Start sitting down at night when you're quiet, hold them in your hands and work with them. See what kind of information comes to you. Because they do store information. They bring things about. They will bring changes. They connect you. When you hold those crystals and you meditate, like I say, they bring you messages. It's because you leave your state of mind being trapped in this human body and you move into the flow. And when you're in the flow, ideas, concepts, just a different way of thinking just come into your mind through that vibration that the crystals are helping you enhance.
Right.
With that, yeah.
Let me get one thing.
Okay. So I just interrupted him to tell him that our oldest son, is available and would like to kind of jump in to help host with him. And if he's able to pull him in, I'm actually going to jump out because I have a pot of chili on the stove that I need to tend to.
I've heard all about that chili.
Well, I've sent him the invite on. So just let him.
I just want to give some people some pointers when they're looking at crystals, okay? Like, you look at them, like I said, if you're attracted to them, be attracted to them. But I said there are certain things in crystals that you want to look for depending on what you want to do. So, for example, being a ghost hunter or being a psychic or looking to do tarot cards or a divination in any sort of kind, okay? If you look at this crystal here, I've outlined it because it was very hard to see. But if you look at the face of this where I put the black lines, most crystals have a 6-sided face. This one has 7, okay? There's actually 7 faces on that crystal. That is considered a channeler, okay?
Okay.
Now, in order for that to be a channeler, when you flip that to the other side, there has to be a triangle directly on the other side of that.
Hey, Anthony, good to see you.
Okay?
That's
And that,
yeah.
And that's going to bring you, now that crystal is a channeler. So if you want to use it to channel from up above or from the spirit realm, and that's what you want. That's what you're looking for, is a 7 face with the triangle on the back. Now, just give me 1 second here. Channelers are like, they're just like something like that. You can put your thumb on when you're meditating. You can put it up to your forehead when you're meditating, like that, right? But I mean, the 7 sides on that, okay, have a meaning. Then the 3 sides on that have a meaning within that thing right there. And it teaches you to use your inner wisdom to connect with the spirit world with that. So that is something that you look for, a channeler like that. Beautiful piece.
Yeah,
right
I mean, I'm blown up. My head's just sitting there going for all the stuff I'm learning here, because I had no clue. Compared to what I thought I knew jack squat.
Like, you look at this beautiful piece of citrine here. Do you see that triangle in the middle?
Yeah.
That's called a window. Okay, and those are for people who like to scry.
Yeah.
So
Right.
So what you do is you sit there and you meditate and you look into that window that is on there. And that will bring, depending on how you access information, you just sit there, let your mind go blank, look through that window. That's going to bring stuff to you. That's going to bring information to you on that. There's so many different things. There's timelines on crystals that will tell you about the future. It'll tell you about the past. You want to look for that. There's record keepers. There is striations that allow you to access the Akashic records. We talked about that, Lynn.
Yeah, we did. We talked about it earlier. I wanted to bring it up.
But I will reiterate that. You want any of the black stones. You want tourmaline. You want black kyanite. Any of the black stones, black obsidian, black onyx. But the most powerful one is tektite. And the other thing you want to do is carry selenite, because that energizes your life energy around you and gives you a much stronger protection against those things latching on. Because that's what they latch onto, is your life energy, your aura. That's what they actually latch onto.
That's the one when I do the automatic writing to help protect me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely want that. There's so many little indicators on crystals when you're looking at a crystal that will, I'm going to show you after this one that I showed everybody here at the beginning. I'm like, look at this, it's not the most pretty, it's not the most beautiful crystal. And you'd see that for $100. You'd be like, I don't know. It's not like gorgeous, but I'm going to show you at the end of the show why that crystal has so much things going on, and it's absolutely crazy. It's crazy.
Now, Lynn is back with another question. You say, is it important to cleanse, clear, and recharge your crystals before using them?
Some crystals don't need cleansing, but most do. Crystals, see, it's such a debate. Like a lot of people say, when you first get a crystal, cleanse it, because it could be in a crystal shop or something. People pick it up, they put their energy into it. Those crystals will not hold that energy unless someone has taken the time to put their intent into it. Most of the time it will absorb it and transmute it out as a better energy. But yes, I do that with my crystals. I just cleanse them just to make them my own. It doesn't change the information in them in a sort of way. It just kind of makes them your own. It just makes them your own. It's just, they get used to your vibe that way. So yes, I would cleanse my crystals when I get them. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's not a problem. She says, thank you. I'm sorry I came in late. That's okay. We'll just penalize you next time. So this Anthony just asked, he said, can you use crystals to hold your own energy?
Like I was saying,
would those be?
What's that?
What crystals would those be?
Any quartz based.
Okay.
Any quartz based crystal. So you got your citrine, you got your clear quartz, you got your amethyst, you got your Super 7. God, there's so many quartz based ones. But quartz based, yes, absolutely. Cleanse them. Sit there. When I get new crystals that I'm working with, when I cleanse them, I thank them for becoming part of my family. I thank them for being here. I thank them for being part of my life. I treat them like a family member. I treat them like you would a pet. You don't have to. Crystals will bring beautiful energy to your home, but if you want them to truly work for you, you need a relationship with them. You need to work on that relationship with them. Then they'll unleash that beautiful energy. They'll release that knowledge. But absolutely, you can put your information, you can put your intent. Like when I did my crystal grid over here with my beautiful citrine in that, my crystal points, I put my intent into each and every one of them as I made that grid, because they will retain and store that, restore your thoughts, your energy, your what did I just call it? Not incentive. Your oh God, brain fart. Your intent into them. They will absolutely store that.
I want to switch out our co-host real quick. So
okay.
Thanks for chiming in, hon.
Nice seeing you, Lori.
Nice to meet you.
I bet you make some good chili.
And yeah, she does. There's Devin.
Hello.
Devin. Yay.
Hey, Devin.
Nice to
All
meet you.
right,
Nice to
so
see you.
kick that out.
What's
All
this?
right.
I didn't know that you didn't tell me you had a lady killer as a son.
He's already got one lady to kill. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's the lady that'll kill another lady if it ever happens the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
yeah. But Sydney, his wife, is actually really strong in the crystal work, right, Devin?
Oh yes, 110%. I don't know how much money we spent on crystals.
Right. It's
all worth it.
I've learned so much already from Greg in this show. It is mind blowing, and I'm going to hold you to sending me that list. By the way, I'm just going to tell you,
Richard,
brother.
I will, brother. I will, brother. Hey, we're
definitely hold you to
compadres
that.
now. We're compadres.
All right. 'Cause to me, it's one of those kind of things where I know it'll help everybody, and it includes my crew as well and mine.
Mm-hmm.
So what is this one here we just got? So, God, we have a lot of stuff that came out.
Good.
Okay, so here's another one from Nikki. We use uncut crystals a great deal.
Yep.
One's found locally too. I sometimes feel they pick you. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely pick you. Absolutely pick you. And Nikki, what I would say too is that the uncut ones have much stronger energy than the cut or polished ones. They don't go through as much trauma. I find that the polished ones do have a great energy, but it's much gentler. Whereas the raw ones can tear your guts out too, depending on what you got. And I mean, crystals are, everybody's like, oh, feel good, feel great, love, light, fucking this and that. But I'm just telling you, you'll get ones that want to do shadow work with you, and they will give you a sick feeling in your gut. They will pull that stuff out of you. And but I mean, it's all for the better. It's all for the better. Yeah. But definitely.
I've always been a big believer because I've been to a couple of places where they did crystal stone sales, and none of them were tumbled. None of them. They sold them raw, uncut raw.
Yeah.
And I always would felt that is, oh my God, here comes my chili. Yeah.
Chili. But again, look at this. This is not a cut crystal, but I mean, I feel so much power. Most of mine are raw. And I mean, if you're just starting out with them, use the eh?
I think there might be more of a natural effect of
it. They weren't traumatized,
right?
Except for when they were removed from the mother womb of where they grew,
Right.
But because I mean, when they polish them and that, they're tumbled, they're polished, it causes trauma to them.
And Devin, I'm loving your background. What is that background, dude?
Oh, is it a brick wall or blurred? I don't remember which one I picked.
No, it's blur.
No.
We live in the world of blur. It's kind of funny.
It's kind of like
blur, dude.
It's kind of like we're like on some DMT.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty good. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah. I'm gonna let that go right there. But yeah, I mean, so to me, this is such a huge learning experience. It really, really is. I've got a lot of people saying yes to the list, and oh yes, the list. I'm like, yep.
Like I said, back in the 80s, people started to have that spiritual awakening, and that's when crystals started coming in the market. And I believe that they were light beings brought to this earth way back when. They possess the knowledge. They possess the knowledge to get us out of all this shit we're going through. And people are looking for the spiritual thing now because we've been given everything. We got everything we need. And what else is there? It's the spiritual after that. We're all striving for a more spiritual experience now because we got everything else we need. And it's not keeping us happy. You see anxiety, you see panic attacks, you see, so obviously that's not the way.
No, I don't believe it is either. Carmen Rosa, first of all, welcome to the show. She says, how can you know what is glass or tumble?
Glass will contain bubbles, for one. Number two, if you take a piece of glass and you think it's a crystal, you can't scratch that crystal with glass because it's harder than glass. The other thing that you can do is take a lighter and burn it, and you'll get black on that crystal. If you can wipe it off, it's real.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's because that's going to be my first thing I want to worry about when going out and buying crystals, is if they're legit or not. You know,
Richard, one location that's really good for you, especially being so close to Atlanta, Crystal Blue. That's where we've gotten a lot of our crystals from. It's quality crystals. They have uncut, like they have raw, like it's just a good variety of crystals. And I mean, we've got God knows how many from there. You could buy big amethyst chunks at the front of the store, like $300. Like they got a little bit of everything in there.
And Greg, I can't hear you. Your mic is out again. Yeah, your mic is out. Yeah, because we don't really have anything. I think Chattanooga might have one. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Is it back?
We got you now.
Okay. You didn't hear the cussing? You couldn't read my lips?
No. I didn't want to.
But I was saying, like, yeah, go to a local crystal dealer that you trust. But I mean, like, for example, citrine. Okay. Beautiful, 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 beautiful citrine. Okay. Now you can tell citrine is fake for one. They take a lot of amethyst and they heat treat it. And normally that's more of an orange color. That's heat treated amethyst. If you get a large
treated in a diamond world, don't they call that treated?
Yeah, it's heat treated. It's so it wasn't actually that color, but they heat it to make it that color. Now a lot of people in the crystal world will say, well, it gives you the same blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, I don't believe that for a second. But if you get a nice, beautiful, clear piece like this, like it's a very light lemony color in it, like that, that's like really a beautiful smoky, really yeah, beautiful smoky citrine. If you get a piece of citrine that has a lot of cloudy whiteness in it, that's been heated. That's where you get the cloudy whiteness. Okay. But normally you'll get chunks of amethyst that look like an orangey color. They're not quite yellow. They're not, and that's heat treated citrine. Yeah.
Okay. Now, does that citrine. Ignorant question? Does that do anything at all with the ability of the stones when you heat it?
What's that?
Does that do anything with the ability of the stone when you heat treat it like that?
No.
No. Okay. Because I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know there was properties that broke down or something like that when you do that.
Yeah. No. But I mean, it's like me going to bed with a girl that looks like Cindy Crawford, but it was just due to surgery. It's not the same as sleeping with Cindy Crawford, right?
Yeah, and Lori is saying,
and it wouldn't be the same energy.
Really saying, I need HR.
Comment on that?
Yeah,
I don't think that would offend you, Richard. Come on.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't offend me at all. Man. But I have what I need, so I don't need to worry about that.
Oh, well played.
Anyway,
well played. Good play. Yeah. Well played. Yes. Right, how important are crystal grids?
Yeah, how important are crystal grids?
Crystal grids are absolutely amazing. They're normally set up in a sacred geometry pattern where you have a generator in the center that's going to take that sacred geometry, and that's going to be the center point or focal point that sends that out to the universe with your intentions. I think crystal grids are absolutely fabulous. I have 2 of them myself running in my house at all times. Well, like I said, it's something you put your intent into, and your intent goes to the universe. It's like a manifestation tool. So yeah, crystal grids are absolutely wonderful. I support them 1,000,000,000%. I think they're just a wonderful thing to have. And obviously you work with crystals. If you're talking crystal grids, you know what it's all about. You got it. Yeah, you got it.
Now, Christopher, first of all, again, welcome to the show. Looks like a new viewership. Beware that crystal and diamonds are not the same thing. No, absolutely. Yeah, that wasn't my intent with that question or statement. It was kind of a, because when you go into a jewelry store, or like when I used to live in New York, I used to go to the Diamond District in New York, right? There is nothing there but an entire building full of people selling diamond cables. And that's all it is, cables and cables of diamonds. And a conversation of heat treated came up, which changes the color of the stone. But yeah, no, I understand that they're carbon form, but that was just kind of where I was kind of going with the whole heat treated symbolism in the conversation was. diamonds people would understand or have heard probably that they're treated.
Hey,
Not so much crystals, but diamonds, you'd hear that.
all I can say is that diamonds are like a relationship, time and pressure, and it comes out with something beautiful. That's
Francine says, just like cracked quartz, it's gorgeous but heat treated.
Yes, crackled quartz is heat treated in a way that they heat it, they drop it, they cool it quick, so it gives you that crackle effect. Kind of like taking tempered glass, making a coffee table. You take a nail and you hit it, and it just shatters, gives you this beautiful thing. It does not lessen the energy of that crystal.
Now, Anthony asks, what about the grow your own crystal kits?
Well, I kind of grow my crystal every morning when I'm waking up.
Here we go. HR, please. HR, please.
You know, there is like you can grow bismuth, which is naturally occurring, but you can grow that yourself. I don't believe that they have the same energy because it is not something that's produced by Mother Earth. Mother Earth produced her own jewelry. Think about that one.
Sorry, I'm trying my best to partake in this.
It's okay.
It's really off camera. It's not really
Okay.
helping you.
I'm going to try not to make you laugh with a mouthful of fucking. Oops, pardon. With a mouthful of chili.
All right. So
sorry, I don't know where that came from. Sorry.
yeah.
I think I better hang on. Better hang on to my
HR.
kyanite here and stop those thoughts.
Well, it's a joke. It's a running joke with our team. Devin's on the team as well, obviously, but it's a running joke with our team. When somebody comes off with something off colored, everyone's asking for an HR representative.
Yeah, HR.
Or an
HR.
adult,
I know.
one or the other, because it's not us.
Yeah, well, from what Katie told me about you, you don't worry about that.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. All right. Now, Lynn is asking another
Yes.
question. She said, do crystals fade if left in direct sunlight?
Absolutely, Lynn. You got to be very careful which ones you leave in direct sunlight. Fluorite, smoky quartz, citrine, anything like that will fade in sunlight. Just, you know, we get darker, but for some reason crystals fade.
Wow, that's really wild. I did not know that. I mean, I learned so much.
Amethyst will fade. Oh,
My wife had a couple pieces of opal she left in the car, and we pulled them out, and they didn't look the same in any capacity.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'll also tell you something about crystals as well that I've experienced on my own. Not in direct sunlight, but when you work with them often enough and when they're done their job, I've seen crystals, the inclusions, what I saw inside of them totally change. I've also seen the color change. I've seen crystals heal themselves when they're broken.
Wow.
Yeah.
Francine has put up a question, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it correctly.
Anhydrous.
Huh?
Anhydrous.
Right.
Yeah.
So is it true that anhydrous are millions of years old?
Yeah. What it is, Francine, is that when that crystal was developed, there was still a pocket of water within that from millions and millions and millions of years ago. So that water is kind of like glacier water. It's pure. I mean, I wouldn't drill a hole and drink it, but
Well, hence the name hydrous, right?
Mm-hmm. They're very special crystals. If
Right.
you if you have yourself now, excuse me, there are some anhydrous that look like freaking coconuts. Like they're big, they're ugly, and they got like water in them. I think they're more of an agate with water. I find them ugly as hell. I don't feel energy out of those. But the actual clear quartz that have the anhydrous in them they are like a very, very special crystal with that. Okay. It's very good for helping you delve deeply into secrets and hidden places of others, you know, relationships. They're very good about bringing that information. If you're in a relationship, you already freaking know, though, because I mean, instinct is everything, right? You already know crap's going down, but these crystals will just reassure you that you're right about it. That's what anhydrous will do.
All right. So now Herbie's asked a question, and Herbie, it's not a matter of not knowing his brother. I'm going to tell you, I knew jack squat about crystals until Greg came on the show. So he says, is amethyst a gem or a crystal? Sorry, but I honestly don't know anything about this. And can some gems be used as crystals?
Absolutely. Diamonds are a gem. Emerald is a gem. Amethyst is a gem. there's so many. Like, I mean, what they do is they take them, they cut them, they facet them. They're really nice, clear ones, and they call that gem quality. But it actually is still a crystal. It was developed by Mother Earth. It was made by Mother Earth. They put a value on it. They make it look pretty. People love it. Yeah. So gem and a crystal is exactly the same thing. Exactly. Like, I mean, this isn't a gem. Like, this is a chunk of gold, for example. Okay. And you wouldn't think of gold as a crystal, but gold is a crystal. And the thing is that on this earth, it's not something that the earth makes. The earth does not make gold. There's only a limited amount. It will not reproduce it. It will not make any more. The gold came from the meteor strikes, from those meteorites that brought the gold to the earth. They came from the stars.
Wow.
Once it's gone, it's gone. Where the earth will keep reproducing different gems and crystals. That's why gold is so gold, platinum. That's why it is so cherished and rare, because the earth doesn't replace gold. That was put here.
Wow.
Now, the reason I feel that I have such a good immune system is I've been wearing this for 30 years, and your skin will leach it. It will take it and absorb it into the skin. And I believe that I have such a good immune system is from wearing that gold for 30 years, that it just leaches into your body.
So let me ask you a question. Lori just presented to me on a handwritten note.
Lori.
Yeah.
Will
chili, and
will I be able to sleep tonight with the chili?
Yeah. It'll be a real pleasant experience. So
War of 1812.
Right? War of 1812. She is wondering, since we're a very active team, how often should crystals be recharged or cleansed?
If you have a Tektite with you, you don't have to charge or cleanse a Tektite. Kyanite, same thing, and black tourmaline, same thing. These are some of the few crystals that do not need to be cleansed or recharged.
What about Super 7?
See, I've never thought of Super 7 as a protection stone in many ways. Like, it has 7 different minerals in it.
Right.
None of those are something that I would consider as a protection.
Okay.
If anything, when you think of Super 7, I would think it's more of an enhancer when you bring that with you.
Okay. And what about the black stones you're talking about for us using as protection on the investigations? What about them? How often do you think they would need to be cleansed or even recharged?
Never.
Never.
The kyanite, the tourmaline, the black tektite. No.
Okay.
You don't have to charge that. Same with selenite. When I told you to carry selenite with you to enhance your life force, you never have to cleanse selenite as well.
No,
that's the beauty of those crystals.
So with that black tourmaline, what are your thoughts? Back with the Walking Horse Hotel, mine broke in half after everything happened in my pocket. It literally just snapped in half in my pocket.
Yeah.
Basically protecting me from something.
I had my daughter, I have twin daughters. Skyra's here with me now. I haven't seen her in 6 months. She came from Nelson, BC. She's staying with me for 5 months because she doesn't have to work. And when my other daughter, Raven, came to visit us, and she has attachments. She has so much going on with her. I gave her my piece of black kyanite to wear around her neck. I've never seen a piece start turning white. Okay. Now, when that happens, or it breaks, it means it's done. It's done its job. It's finished.
Wow.
Okay. And I mean, you can take it if it's broken and give it to other people. It will help and aid them, but it's done helping you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. That's always good to know about. If it's a broken stone, then it's done with you. Yeah.
Yes, it's done its job for you, but pass it on to somebody else.
Gotcha. Sounds great. All right. Now, Lynn said I had green opals that were sitting next to you and touching a rust-colored candle, and they absorbed the candle color. So now I have rust-colored opals. Is there any way to get them back to the original color?
I'm not convinced that they were actual real opals. Then they shouldn't absorb. Opals shouldn't absorb. Like, I mean, it's like putting a piece of clear quartz next to something that absorbs that color. I just don't. I wish I had an answer, but I mean, my gut instinct is that it's not really opal, that it is some sort of manufactured or assimilation of the opal.
Sorry, this is taking up most of the screen here, but Mario said my son would have had night terrors, and there was an energy that I had to face off with, which blocked me from his doorway. The black tourmaline. As part of my clearing method, I placed a piece of black tourmaline at the top of the doorway. During the cleansing, that piece shattered like a bullet hit it, and it scared the crap out of me the moment, as if there was as there were shards everywhere.
Wow. You know what? Get rid of the black tourmaline. Find a Tektite. Find a Tektite. Because I mean, obviously that energy was too much for that black tourmaline. Tektite will absorb it and dissipate it without shattering. It doesn't hang on. It doesn't retain it.
Okay.
So I would look for a Tektite to do that. And I'm sure there's other things that I would do as well. Like, I mean, I wouldn't depend on just the crystal to protect my kid.
Right now. So there's one last question from Anthony. He said, what would be the best crystal to ground one's energy? And that'll be the last question of the night because we already burned through our time.
There are so many crystals that you can use to ground your energy. You can use, one of my favorites is get hematite. You can also get smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is an amazing grounder. So I'd say either grab hematite or smoky quartz as a grounding crystal. Garnet's very good at grounding as well. And like I said, like Richard said, outside in your bare feet, man.
Easiest way to ground right there.
That's
nothing better.
Nothing better than that. I mean, you know, and if you want to know how grounded you're outside in your bare feet, fly a kite during an electrical storm.
Well, guys, I'm going to tell you, we're about ready to wrap it up. Greg, I'd like for you to be able to tell folks how they can get a hold of you. Are you selling stones or no?
I do a live crystal show weekly.
Okay, we need to know where to get that at. How do we get you at that? Where do we go?
Please follow me on Facebook at Warrior Crystals.
Warrior Crystals.
I mean, or you can just type in Facebook at the Rock On Gang. That's what my crew's called, the Rock On Gang. We rock on and we're into crystals, man. It's great. This has been wonderful.
You're going to see us as well. We're going to be looking at you to get some stuff because, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on the show and delivering what you delivered. It's huge.
I can't express how happy I am that you even had me on here. you know,
it's like
it's wonderful.
Is the one facet I don't think we've talked about in the last 3 years very well, not intelligently, not like this. And yet again, like I said, we've had many people, like even tonight, that have come out and said, hey, you know, thank God for this show. I've got a person on here who said, I love this show. I'm so glad I caught this show. And it's all because of what you're offering them as information and guidance, which is great. And that's part of what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to educate the people out there that are doing this for just in their daily life that need the protection.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so you know, Richard, like, I mean, you know, as far as the ghost investigation, spirit boxes, my daughter do all that stuff. My daughter and I do right into that. Like I said, I've had attachments. I've been through all that crap. I've done investigations. So, I mean, we're all on the same level here, which is absolutely amazing. I just love it. And I just want to mention again, my friend who does the chakra healing through, like she does sound baths with a different set of bowls. But I'm telling you, this chakra healing she gave me with her special bowls was the most incredible thing I ever felt. And maybe you should consider having her on at one point.
You know,
she's amazing.
I'd love to be able to do that. If you'll pass on, you know, messenger or something, just message me and let me know what her contact information is.
Yeah,
you know, I'm real big and I'm pretty open at this point in my career to whatever we can do. I went from being one of those guys as an investigator that was a hard ass, right?
Yeah.
I was, forgive me for lack of better expression or a better example, I was Zach Bagans 20 years ago. I was 15 years ago. When it come down to the last 15 years, I've gone to how do I protect my team?
Yeah.
How do I respect the spirits better?
Yeah.
And how do I keep myself and my team from getting in trouble?
Absolutely.
What do I do?
Yeah.
So we've talked about this a lot on this show.
Yeah.
You know, how to better protect our people. That's why it's so paramount to me It's paramount to be able to have this information and take forward. And I'm telling you, you will see us on your page.
Good.
Warrior Crystals, you will.
Good. I love you guys. I love everybody that was in the show. And I just want you to know too, when it comes, there's one mistake people make when they sage. You know, if you're going to sage a premises to get rid of something, okay, you need to shut all the windows and you need to smoke that place out till the smoke detector goes off, then leave. You got to smoke it till you can't breathe. Leave the place, then come back 3 hours later, open the windows, and it'll get out. Most people just go, oh, I'm saging. No, you got to smoke the shit out of that place.
No, I've done a lot of, I don't know how many cleansings I've done now of premises and businesses as well as residentials.
Yeah.
And I use salt water and
Yes.
sage and Palo Santo.
Yes.
I've also at times have used vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
Vinegar is a great cleansing agent. If you have what I call paranormal sludge
Yeah.
on pieces of wood or countertop, I would vinegar water and wipe it down. It is just some of the craziest things, the simplest things that people need to understand is usually procedure. It's procedural. You can go in and take a sage smudging stick and wave it in the air. That's going to get you nowhere.
No.
If you don't learn how to center the perimeter of the building, and inside the house, you center that. You paint it. I always tell people, you take a paintbrush full of paint, and you put it on the wall, and you just roll it, and you never take it off the wall. That's how you do it 3 times.
Yeah.
And you do it clockwise, not Windershins. You do it clockwise.
Yes.
You do the same thing with the salt water. Same exact thing. And then I bind the property out 3 times again, same way with additional salt, additional sea salt. And then I cleanse the people who own the property before they come in the building.
Well, you know,
go ahead.
Thank you for that information. I never knew about the vinegar. That's great information.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, I feel like I got an attachment to you and Devin and Lori now. So we're all got to hang out. We're going to be friends. We're going to talk. We're going to contact. All right.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Like this was just a wonderful thing. It was just an amazing experience.
You're a tremendous resource. And I really, guys, I'm going to stress that to you. I don't normally pitch businesses in any way, but when you have a gentleman who knows his stuff and is actually a resource to obtain the stuff that you need to reach out to Warrior Crystals and get what you need from this gentleman. Because I don't trust many people.
You shouldn't.
It's hard to.
In New York, I don't trust.
It is.
Anybody.
It is very hard to. And I'm a very honest, straight shooter, and I'm not going to sell anybody anything that's fake. I'm not going to sell anybody anything that's not legit. And I just appreciate you having me on here to give me some sort of exposure. I so appreciate that.
This is not going to be the only time, brother.
Okay.
Good.
Yes. I can't wait. Yeah.
Trust me.
I love making friends, man. Like
we're educated to be able to talk to you about it intelligently, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is that you can pick up people's vibes, whether it's like like energy has no bounds. Mm-hmm. It comes.
Oh, we lost
his mic again.
We lost his mic. Just as we're getting ready to close out the show,
we lost it.
We've lost his mic. Yeah, we lost it with energy has no bounds. That's where we lost.
But he's not wrong. In any capacity.
Energy has no bounds. And, it was a pleasure to talk to you, Richard, your beautiful wife, Lori, and Devin. Like, I mean, I feel like I've made a friendship here. And I thank Katie for bringing us all together. And Katie, get better. Everybody send love, light, healing energies to Miss Katie. God bless her. Yeah.
But guys, we're going to let you go. We're going to let you have at it.
So have me on again, and I'll start explaining more what to look for in crystals.
Oh, hey,
I got so set up to do that. We didn't even end up really talking about it. So I stressed out for nothing.
Yeah, you didn't tell us what that big crystal was about.
Now.
Come on, we got over a minute now. Come on.
We got over a minute left?
Over a minute left, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Okay, so I want to tell you about this castle, okay? Number 1. If you look right here, this is a scepter.
Right.
Okay, a scepter is where there's a small growth here that stopped growing, then another crystal grew on top of it. Okay? Scepters are the most powerful crystals you can get. They're very directional. They are very they are with scepters. You got to watch what you wish for. That's what I'm saying about that. Okay, this has the scepter. Right next to the scepter is a beautiful generator. Okay, it's got a generator, so that energy is so focused and it's just going to rise so far. This is just a crazy crystal. Now, the other thing this has is what's called if you look over here, has an Isis face, which is a 5-sided face, which is very goddess feminine energy on that. Okay. And I think women are more rational than us in most occasions when it comes to spiritual things. Men can be a little bit more irrational. Women are a bit more rational.
No.
They're more nurturing. No, I'm not saying about in relationships. I'm just saying in spiritual.
We lost him again.
We lost his mic again. Damn it, man.
That's a beautiful crystal.
Yeah, we lost it, buddy. We lost your mic. Oh, he's cussing up a storm now. Look at he's cussing up a storm now. There he is. He's back.
I wasn't cussing out a storm, but you see right here, this one looks like a book.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. No, it's back, Skyra. My daughter's over there going, your mic is gone. She must be behind us. Looks like a book. You know what that is? That's where you can put your own information into a crystal for future generations.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, which is absolutely amazing. Now, if you look at this crystal, you see how the top is smoky and the bottom is clear?
Yeah.
Like, clear but smoky, like wispy white quartz.
Yeah.
That is yin and yang. That is a perfect balance between masculine and feminine. So this beautiful crystal, people would look at and go, well, that's kind of ugly. Has so many factors in it and so much information. It is absolutely crazy.
Mhm.
Well, I appreciate
So don't
you
judge
taking
a
the
book by its
time to
cover.
do that. Yeah, I appreciate you doing that because I really want to know. I'm even getting Lori over here going, I know what that stone is about.
It's a
Okay.
beautiful piece. Beautiful
But
piece.
we
I love
thank you,
Celestials.
man. We thank you, Greg, so much. It's been a real pleasure having you with us. Guys, we're going to go ahead and close out the show. We really hope you've enjoyed it tonight. We hope you got some knowledge out of it.
Hmm.
We will have Greg back again, regardless if he wants to or not.
I'll be back anytime. I love you guys. I absolutely
Thank
love you
We
guys.
appreciate it, buddy.
We got
Guys,
along
we're
so
gonna put
naturally.
out- Please
No
be
tension.
good to yourselves, and please have a great
Mhm.
week. We will talk to you all soon.